Hey guys, David Hughes, Theater Advice, welcome back. Today, and I actually got this request, so it was really cool, so I told him I would do it. I'm gonna talk theaters north of 20 grand. So we did kind of the $10,000 theater. I touched on stretching into that $12 and $15,000 mark and what you get there, going from, nice stuff, stretching that screen budget, 2 grand gets you to 12, stretching screen and audio budget gets you to 15. We do a lot of $15,000 theaters. What we do the most here is $20,000, $25,000 theaters, and things like that. And I'll kind of give you my picks. I'm not going to point out a lot of stuff. I mean, this is not going to be hopefully a boring video. I can probably even do it kind of quick. I'm going to run through some of my picks. And speaking of picks, we'll probably have some picks like this one or that one. And we'll have those pop up during the time for you. And but I'm going to go through some stuff and just show you like how, when I talk to a client and they're like, hey, I have a $20,000 budget. I don't just look at that and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm going to make 20 grand. I'm going to make, well, we don't make 20 grand. That's crazy. But, I don't look at it and be like, oh, that's a good budget. I'm going to make all this money. We start thinking, what am I going to do for this client? How am I going to design it? What does the room look like? What I talk to clients a lot is I say, how we design is budget and expectations. So what is your expectations? Well, I want the best theater ever. Well, that's 20 grand's okay, but we might need to jump higher. So these are just kind of some of my picks, and I did take some notes, so I'm going to cheat a little bit here because I didn't want to do a lot of ums and stuff like that and you to death. So one of my favorite $20,000 theaters is going to be Focal. It's the ones under these, the new Vestias. So you can get some Focal Vestias, an LS12000 projector that's in here, nice slate screen, a slate 120 or something like that. SVS sub, like a PB2000, nice receiver like we always talk about, a nice Marantz or something. That mixture, obviously matching center channel, that kind of thing, remote control, full bore with labor included, discounted. We're gonna be hovering around that 20,000 mark. Okay, so that's kind of your $20,000 theater. That can be interchanged with any level of $2,000 to $3,000 speakers. We're talking about maybe some KEF Q series. You can do SVS Pinnacles in there probably. You can get into Martin Logan's, not the F100, but like the F10 series. So there's some mixing and matching, as you're like Bauer 600 series, when you're kind of like, hey man, I've always loved the Bauer sound, or I've always loved the Martin Logan ribbon tweeter, or I like Golden Ear. We don't sell it, but great speakers. You can play around in that realm and interchange those things. Go listen, get your opinions straight, because I can't tell you what to like. And once that happens and your expectations are there, I understand your expectations, we can design for you and it's gonna be perfect. Right around that $22,000 mark, kick it up to a 5000 ES or the equivalent JVC. Those two projectors are good. They're both good in their own right to me, about the same. You get it some Martin Logan F100 series speakers, which are big, large and in charge, very, very detailed, very good speakers for the money. Same screen, all the other peripherals the same. You're gonna hover around that $22,000 mark or so, and you can interchange that stuff with Bauer 702s. You can do KEF reference 7s, or I'm sorry, not reference, the R7s. The reference stuff gets a little wild price-wise. Anything in that range, you're gonna get into that. Now, when I use these as a baseline when I'm designing or I'm changing stuff, if people tell me what their budget is, because if a person said, well, I really love the Sony 6000 ES or I love the NZ7, I could stretch to 28 or 30, but I didn't want to. I might send them that secondary bid, pop those projectors in there. It's going to bump it 5 grand, 6 grand, whatever. So now you're going to be at that $27,000, $28,000 marks, keeping all the other peripherals the same, but the client gets the projector he wants. They can decide, he or she wants, they can decide if they want to stretch that or not. But that's kind of how you get to that $28,000 mark. You shift over into the $30,000 realm, and now that's basically this system. So this system is any manner of $30,000 to $38,000, however you slice it. We demo that in here. That's Focal Cantas. I've got the Soper center channel because that came from my house. As soon as we sell it, we'll get the Canta center channel in here. They're only $1,000 difference retail, I think. So both very similar Brillium tweeters. So you get a Canta center channel, 150-inch screen, AT or a $7,000 screen. You can do the LS12000 or the Sony 5000 ES. You go to the 6000 ES, it's gonna jump a little bit, but those are the projectors I would use in this price range. Because again, screen's more important. I know I get roasted for that, but I'm right, and I'll die on that. I'll die on that rock if I have to. So you know, once you do that mixture, throw in, you know, nice preamp, either a Marantz preamp or, you know, maybe an inexpensive Anthem preamp, something like that. You're gonna hover 35 to 38,000 for that system. We demo that with 2 subs. We've got Rel in here, so that's kind of the $35,000 mark. The next mark you hit are your 50s and 60s. We do many systems like that. I just pulled a couple designs from our system that we've actually sold and completed. Those are gonna be like, you know, these are gonna be like what I call ultra or ultimate systems, and they're really, really great. That's where you're gonna start getting into Macintosh MX123s, MC254 amps. You know, you're getting into, or 247 amps, I'm sorry, the 7-channel amp. You're getting into nice amps now, some wow factor stuff. You're getting into the blue dials. You could do any manner from $50,000 to $70,000 mixture of an AT screen with, like, we've done it with the Martin Logan Momentums and Sistines as rears. I mean, you're talking about very, very high-end in-wall system behind the screen, getting to where I own that stuff at home. So you can do a 6000 ES at that point, or the NZ7 from JVC, JL Audio sub, which is my love, of course. You're going to be in the $50,000 to $70,000 range, depending on some of those choices you make within that realm. The 70,000, of course, the last system I designed before I came in here, just to make sure it hit that mark. One of my favorite theaters I've ever done, just because it's such a beautiful hybrid theater. It was north of 60, 65 grand, but it's Macintosh, Sonus Faber, 6000 ES, or an NZ7 with a slate screen at 133, not AT obviously. Olympica Novas, which I'm going to review pretty soon. So you're talking about a Macintosh Olympica Nova theater with SI slate and a very, very high-end projector. You know, that's a dream system for most people, but that's where I would spend my money if I had to, you know, and I was gonna go, hey, it's not just for movies like my room is. I'm also gonna go in there and listen to 2-channel music a lot. And I want a hybrid system of floor standing 2-channel with Macintosh and a theater. You know, you're gonna be 60, 70 grand, somewhere like that. We do a lot of systems like that. So those are gonna be my overall kind of picks and go-tos of how I design systems at those different price levels, and then we kind of fine tune it to the room based on, you know, color and things like that, of course, and expectations. And hopefully you guys found that helpful for people that have that kind of budget. We do a lot of them. We have a lot of pictures on our website of jobs like that. And please comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't already, so you know when new content's coming out. And it helps me see how the page is tracking and whether I should keep doing this or not. So I really appreciate you guys, though, so much. It means a lot. And see you soon. Thanks.